We're starting now. What's going on, guys? We're live. Welcome to a new stream. This is a stream. We're gonna do something a little different today. I'm gonna be podcasting later tonight, a Poker Life version with Lyman. But right now, I'm joined to talk my favorite sport in the world and the thing I like to do the most, which is play NBA, which is play basketball. I don't play NBA basketball. I'm not in the NBA, but talk some basketball, talk some DFS, talk some stories from Vegas this summer, and he actually just went out of the chat somehow on the Google Hangout. So I'm not sure if he's going to be back in the chat here or not. This is weird. We started and then he checked out. So I'm not sure where exactly he's going to be, but I'm going to be joined by my buddy, Mike Mcneil, aka Potodds3. He's a more old school guy, old school poker player from the poker community, and spends time playing poker in DFS now. And he literally just left the chat. I've never had this happen. Oh, now he's back in here. Mike, are you there, puppy?
We're here, baby. We're back.
All right. Mike Mcneil, Potodds3. Mike, what's your? I said like you're an old school live online player. Are you an old school? What's your poker?
I'm an OG, man. I used to be good at poker like years ago, probably like 10 years ago.
And then what happened?
What's that?
What happened?
I mean, I still play a lot. It's just the game got a little tougher and transition into some other things. But still play a lot of poker. I still enjoy poker a lot. I don't get bored of it. It's a great way to make money, right?
I agree. You have a lot of poker friends. We have a lot of mutual friends. You watch a lot of NBA. You play a lot of basketball. You debatably are good at basketball. You debatably were on the MVP summer league team at the World Series of Poker this year in Las Vegas. Were you on that team? Did you make the all first NBA team there, or did
no? I couldn't put myself on that. No, it would have to be. You'd have to start with Kyle Julius for sure.
Yeah, Kyle Julius, he's like the end boss of things, right?
I mean, he could have played in Europe if he would have gone that route. He's the best, So you got to put him on there. His brother Ryan too, which he's not as well known, but he's awesome too. So you got to go the brothers Julius. Then you got to put your boy. You got to put your boy. Nick Ramponi.
I met him in Los Angeles. He gave me a ride home from a night spot one time when we were out.
Nice kid,
Shout out to him. Yeah, he was a nice guy.
Great basketball player. Long, defensive minded. And then Corey Kilpatrick. You know him, Suited Jokers.
I know Corey Kilpatrick. Yeah.
Tough. He's your size. He's your center. And then what's that kid? Canal?
Tom Canoli?
No. Canal, he's like, he went to Duke. He's like, I don't know what nationality is. He's like darker skinned kid. He's really tough.
Not sure who he is.
But, and then Mercier's he's on the cut line there. You could put Mercier on there.
Did Brian go out and play Stinger?
No, he didn't make it out this year.
Oh, okay. Well, Raptor on the list?
Yeah, Raptor's got to be. Yeah, Benefield's top. But he's got a lot. He's probably the most improved. He started out, he was like the worst. He couldn't even make a layup. Now he's, he came in, he was like a UFC guy. He had like that kind of body, but now he's tough. He can shoot. He's getting better. I tell you what, Isaac Barron, a lot tougher than people give credit for. You look at him, he was kind of like a chunkier kid,
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like lost some weight. He's gotten in shape, and he can shoot, man. He's tough. He definitely would be getting some minutes off our bench there.
That's like the poker players that sort of A.E. Jones. plays a lot of basketball too.
Yeah, A.E. Jones and Mercier kind of run the game. It's kind of like you got to get invited. It's kind of private, but it's not. Like if there's people at UNLV, random kids that'll try to play, and they're like, "No, you guys, we got our own game here."
They big time them, or it's just they want to play with friends.
It's that you want to play with your friends, and it's like. I don't know why you haven't showed up yet, but if you come,
I was drunk all of World Series poker. That's why I didn't go.
Well, like we're not, like we don't drink in Vegas all summer.
I was out until 6 a.m. every night, and then Raptor would be like, "You want to go play ball at 8 a.m.?" I'm like, "No, I don't want to play fucking ball at 8 a.m. I've been drinking."
Sounds good the night before until you actually get there. But like, let's say you bring somebody up, like you bring somebody and they're bad, like you won't get invited back.
Wow. Okay.
It's pretty serious. It's have you ever played with Aaron Jones?
I have not played with Aaron Jones. Tell me about it. He's been a very, very requested guest to the podcast. People say we need A.E. Jones on the podcast because he's a DFS guy, poker guy.
He's like I know a lot about basketball. I love basketball. You do. It's another level with him. He's like this Indiana kid. He went to Butler.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, they're like a special breed, man. They love fucking basketball. It's wild. Like he would be our coach on the team. I watched a game with him, like a finals game at that DraftKings lounge. And like the way he talks about the game and thinks about the game, it's so hardcore,
That sounds awesome.
He's a good guy. Yeah, he knows his basketball, man. He's like Jimmy Chitwood, Hoosiers.
Yeah, is he any good at basketball?
Yeah, he's good. He's good too. He would get minutes off our bench for sure. He gets like the most out of his ability. He might love the game a little too much, He gets like he'll get passionate about the game. He'll start some fights. Him and Abe Masseri got into it this summer. It was awesome.
They start a fight at the pickup basketball court at UNLV.
Yeah, because they were arguing over shot selection. There was this real intense game, and Aaron, I don't know if he kicked the ball or something. You could hear Aaron. Have you been to UNLV, the gym?
Not UNLV, no.
So on the top floor, there's 4 basketball courts that go across, and you could hear him on the fourth quarter over, clear as day. He was screaming at Abe Nasseri at the top of his lungs. It was awesome. They got into it. They're passionate, man. They're passionate guys.
Fucking Christ, man. Do you like playing? It says in this podcast, guys, we're going to be talking some NBA, talking some basketball in general, some DFS, some Vegas adventures from this summer at the World Series of Poker that me and Mal Man might have got involved in. And yeah, I think it's just going to be that. We just wanted to do a podcast. We wanted a reason.
Free flowing, right? Just a free flowing
conversation.
Free flowing conversation.
Yeah, exactly. So Mike does a radio show over in West Virginia with who do you do that with?
One of my best friends from high school. He's the sales manager, and we were just out drinking one night. And the girl whose dad owns the station was with us. And she's like, you guys just need a show, Just so many, I'm just that guy at the bar that's just screaming hot take after hot take, spitting out my nonsense. So she's like, you guys need a show. So we've been doing it for 2 months now. It's fun.
What's the viewership like on the show you guys got?
I have no idea. That's what I was talking to you the other day. We talked about trying to find a different format to host it on, because you have to pay Clear Channel $50,000 to see how many listeners you have. So yeah. So we have no idea. I don't know if there's 5 people listening to it. I think, I've gotten some decent feedback, so I think we do have some listeners. But
I've never had an NBA, most of my stuff's podcast, poker related. So if we get 2 people listening, if you got a Curry, I know you're leading the bandwagon over there, kid. If we get 2 people listening to this podcast, I'm gonna be pretty fucking happy about it. So if we get,
I'll take the over 2. I'll set the line at 10.
If we get 2 YouTube views back, I mean, we got more than that watching it live now on Twitch and on YouTube. But if we get more than 2 views back on YouTube, I'm gonna feel like this is a fucking victory for us.
Who's the least viewed pod you ever had? I think we could set that record.
The least viewed podcast I've ever had, I think, is I think it's 1,800 views. With it was more like it was my buddy Robbie, who's not very well known, and he doesn't play poker. He's a poker media guy, but he's my buddy, so I wanted to have him on. I think that was I think I had 1,800, something like that, 1,700, something like that. So I think that was the least viewed one. So I don't know if we can top that one, but we'll see.
We can break that record.
Why are you wearing a Curry jersey here, kid?
So my boy, so I went to a game in Golden State 2 years ago. I was on the bandwagon before most, and called my boy in San Francisco. I was in Tahoe. I was coming back. I was like, I'm gonna catch a Dubs game, right? I always like the Warriors. And he's like, all right. So we go to a game. I bought the tickets. He goes, all right, if the Warriors win the title, I'll buy you a Curry jersey. So lo and behold, got the championship logo here and everything, man. I love this thing. I'm gonna wear this way too much.
Are you gonna keep the tag on the entire time, or are you gonna take the tag off?
There you go, right here.
Are you taking it back? Oh, you're taking it off. Okay.
Rip it off, kid. All right, we're good.
All right, well, I guess where can we start? I don't know. I sort of want to talk about the Vegas stories first, because those were really fun, and then we can get into. Well, you don't want to talk about that Vegas story? Why not?
No, I mean, we can.
You're a bad influence. First of all,
I don't want to indict anyone else.
We
can talk about what we did.
Yeah, of course. We went to the summer league together, NBA summer league, which is pretty fun. Where did we sit the front row, or did we
Hardo bought those tickets, remember?
Yeah, so me and Mike and Stinger and who else was Stinger?
And our pimp friend Raymond.
Oh, our pimp friend Raymond. Raymond's a boss, dude. Raymond Davis.
I believe he was calling his clients at the game, you owe me fucking $300.
He's an actual. I don't want to talk about. I don't want to speculate on what Raymond may or may not do in terms of pimping, but yeah.
I don't want to indict anyone that we don't know for sure.
Yeah, so we got courtside seats for NBA Summer League, thanks to Stingman's connections there, that he knew somebody, and that was fun. What do you think about sitting courtside at NBA Summer League? Where it's obviously, for those who aren't Summer League, it's not pros, but it's
still, I've been to UNLV so many times when Summer League's going on, and I've never gone to the game, so that was awesome because you have Towns was playing in that game. You remember?
Yeah.
So you got Karl Anthony Towns, who's #1 pick, huge prospect, and then the point guards in the game are Aaron Kraft and John Stockton's son, David Stockton.
Yeah.
I mean, they're 5'9" white dudes. They have no business being on an NBA court. So you get the interesting dynamic where you get Towns. I think he actually got hurt that game. It was minor, but so you have these 2 just shit point guards playing with Towns. It was an interesting dynamic. It was pretty sweet.
So what you're saying, Aaron Kraft shit, Ohio State product, hustler. Always on the floor, diving for the ball. You didn't think he was. I
actually thought he might have a chance to play in the league, as a backup, because of he's one of the best on-ball defenders in the game in college, but he's just too white, too slow.
So you watch a lot of teams, right? So I mean, you play a lot of DFS NBA too. So you're sort of you're following along most of the games.
We're filling out teams right now, actually. Me and my boy over here.
Okay, so what do you think separates somebody like Aaron Kraft and somebody like I don't know if Tyler Johnson on the Heat's white. Is he?
No, he's not, dude. That guy's got sick hops. He's like, did you see that dunk he missed the other night?
His mom's white. She was interviewed on TV. His mom's
he's like mixed. He's mixed. No, but he's definitely got black.
Okay, genes. Was TJ McConnell? He's definitely white.
He's white. Yeah,
okay, so we can separate somebody like TJ and somebody like Aaron Kraft who can't get into the league. I think Aaron Kraft might be a little bit shorter. I think he's like 5'10", and TJ might be like an inch taller or something like that. But what separates these? Because you have these like fringe white guys that come in.
That like quick twitch muscle, I think, where you can just like act half a second earlier, like reflexes and stuff. Because Kraft's just a little too slow. I think if Kraft was just a couple inches taller or just a touch faster, he could hang in the league. He still might be able to catch on as a backup somewhere, especially with the emphasis on defense nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like Jimmer Fredette, he was this like stallion coming out of college, and then he
didn't play any defense. They'll show that on you. That'll show up if you don't play any D.
Yeah, he's been kind of passed around. I always wonder, like, when it comes to defense, a lot of people say like defense is just hustle. It's who can hustle the most. But probably at the highest level, there's a lot more than just hustle that goes into it.
Look at somebody like Harden, who took a lot of shit for not playing any defense. And last year, he committed himself to D and had a pretty solid year defensively. So I think it is a lot of effort,
Yeah. I would just think that most people would want to put that effort in, especially if they're trying to make it in the NBA, if they're trying to get into the league, if they're trying to make it as like the 10th man or the second backup point guard or something like that.
Yeah, I think a lot of like recent analytics have shown the importance of defense. That was a thing in baseball too recently where teams were paying, you could find a kind of a loophole if you paid up for defense. And so nowadays with like the sport view camera and stuff, you can't slack on D or you just won't hang in the league, you won't get minutes.
Yeah, there's so many advanced stats, and you played a lot of basketball, right? Like, what's your background in basketball?
So we play. We're in a league in Morgantown, West Virginia. It's really sweet. It's really competitive. It's a lot of like XD1 guys. A lot of guys play WVU, and then we play I played a pickup game when I'm home twice a week, and it's like the same rotating guy, like 20 rotating guys. So it's like it's really competitive. It's really fun, And then the league in Morgantown's got like refs and scoreboards and stuff. So that's probably more. And it's like $600 to get in, so there's no jabronis, Everyone's pretty fucking tough. They're gonna put up the cash,
Did you play back in the day a lot too?
I played in high school actually. I played a couple years in high school until we had this coach come in who was big time, man. He's a D1 coach right now, actually. There's actually a weird lineage at my high school. It was Skip Prosser. I don't know if you remember him. He coached at Wheeling in the 70s. He was head coach of Wake Forest and Xavier. And then these two brothers that played for him, they're both D1 coaches now. And they coached in Wheeling. He was my high school coach when he came in. He didn't like my style of shooting threes and not a lot of defense. He was like a drill sergeant, He had like 5 a.m. practices and you just run for 3 hours.
Yeah, it's kind of
re-practices.
It's kind of amazing how much your situation in terms of coaching in high school matters for like your potential success, or you're playing in college, or you getting minutes. If you don't get minutes in high school, if you're a good player, like you can't really do anything. It's just,
a lot of it's just like, small town politics. Like if your dad was friends with the coach, you're going to play, like if the guy's son's going to play over you and shit like that. So yeah, it's definitely the situation. Like you see guys that excel in high school and you're like, oh, this guy shouldn't be getting minutes,
Yeah, and then it's like sort of like the best of the best can overcome all those obstacles in the way. But then there's always guys that would have been late bloomers or would have bloomed back in college, or they would have maybe they would have bloomed in high school, but they never get the chance. You never realize, you never even get to see if you can make it. So I always think about,
because a lot of that's just like variance. We think about variance in gambling terms. A lot of variance is just being in the right right situation, right time.
Yeah. I always think about this when you play with these D1 guys. You play pickup basketball with these guys, and they're fucking so good. They don't miss a shot. You're like, what the we're like, why aren't these guys like what separates the really good guys in like in the Chicago?
It's such a fine line. I think what it is like you can't fuck up coming up the system. Like I know some guys that like I almost actually staked this kid over in Europe. There's like a basketball school in Europe. Like he's good enough to play.
You almost staked him for a basketball school.
Yeah, we actually had a contract filled out in the last second. We backed out on it because he was kind of telling some lies, but it's like.
Wait, what do you mean? Hold on. Wait a sec. Go back. What are you talking about? You almost staked a kid for basketball school.
He was playing in like Israel or somewhere, and he was telling me he was making like $12K a month playing basketball, which turned out to be a lie. He was doing it for free. I thought he was making money, so I was gonna like. There's a school in Europe you can send, like you go to. It's sick. It's like 5 Gs. Like you go over there and you go to the school for like 2 months, and then they place you on a team if you're good enough to play. So it was. So
you were gonna stake him for the school, and then when he got on a team, then you would have got some money from that.
Right. Yeah, I would have had a cut of his earnings. Yeah.
How'd you find this guy? What is this, like one of those?
He plays in my pickup. He's in our pickup game. He's like
He's a pickup game. I don't know about, it's always the guy in the pickup game that played overseas. There's always at least one or two overseas guys.
No, I mean the kid's legit. He's got like the sickest handles I've ever seen. He was like his college's all-time leading scorer, and it's pretty interesting because he plays, and then there's this other kid that's going to WVU who plays at my old high school. And, they'll guard each other and stuff. They're both, so you got like the young buck and then the old school guy. Pretty interesting game.
I like the old battles. I like battling with the old guys. They do the post moves, and you get down the post, they just fucking grab you with one hand. You're like, fuck. You're like, what the fuck are you doing, man?
Abe Masseri. You just mentioned Abe Masseri.
Is that Abe Masseri? Is that how he does it?
Yeah, he's like he's like straight out of The Sopranos, man. He's old school. He's like 5'10". He's got like the fake hair and shit, but he's like a badass. He's a good player. He hits that like 12-foot jumper in his sleep.
All right, so you play a lot of basketball, obviously. So NBA, do you watch NBA? Like, what's your take on this season? Do you watch NBA, or are you just like a guy who browses box scores and looks at stats and tries to do DFS now?
No, I watch. I try not to do it every night because we talked about this. You get in these like league pass comas, where you sign in at 7 and next thing you know it's midnight and you just watch basketball for 5 hours straight. So I try, a couple times a week, maybe I'll do that. But I watch all the teams. I think I think the NBA has never been better. I don't even think it's an argument really. You look at like. You still got the old school guys, you got Kobe and Duncan who are, top 5-10 players of all time. They're still playing. You've got guys like Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett still in the league. But then you've got, the new school, like LeBron's still in his peak, Durant, Westbrook, Harden. Curry, obviously. Like these guys. And what Curry's doing this year has just been amazing. He's probably the most fun guy to watch, the most entertaining guy, maybe of all time,
Yeah, I think he's been, that's probably, all time. We're not really old enough to remember. Like, I feel like watching NBA for us maybe a couple of years ago is probably different than how we're watching NBA now. Before we were probably all poker centered, and then we had NBA sort of just because we liked basketball, we were fans. But now probably NBA is more of like we can appreciate it a little bit more. We really enjoy it more. We got the NBA. I'm sure. I think you might be a sports betting degenerate, so you like sports betting on things. So like that, it sort of becomes more interesting. But I do agree with you that it feels like for me right now. Plus, we ran good this year. No injuries too. Like there's been no, I guess, KD's hurt for a little bit of time here, and that could be something. Yeah,
like he was hurt last year for a couple months. He was never healthy last year, which sucked, especially if you had him in fantasy. But I think really with like the invention of DFS, it's just made every game, every game so interesting, so watchable. I started probably in 2011. Hastings owed me a G for something. He sent me the old draft day. Remember draft day?
I remember draft day. Yeah.
Still around. We played like a 5-man $1,000 game, and I won it. And I was hooked, man. I remember it was like Klay Thompson's rookie year, and I was just playing him every night and like watching the Warriors. That's how I became a Warriors fan. And, like I think the advent of DFS has really just made the NBA. I think it's the most fun sport to play fantasy-wise too.
Yeah, I think so. Why do you think it's so fun? I think it's more fun than NFL because I don't know. It's like you get like one chance with NFL. You get one day, one chance, and then you got to wait a fucking week. I'm just it doesn't seem fun. I guess there's like more time in theory to break things down, and some people might have fun with the research. Like Asani Fisher, I think he mentioned in his video, like he's like, I have fun with the research. I have fun with the research NBA, but like NFL, it's like one fucking day. You got to wait 7 more days. It's
fucking terrible because like any chick could fill out a football team. Like, oh, fucking Todd Gurley, man, he's good. I'm putting him on my team. Like anyone knows that shit. So like the skill level in NBA is way higher because you're looking at, like right now, 20 till 6, you're looking at injuries. You're looking at, there's a lot of turnover, like you can find like Kobe's sitting tonight. So, Lou Williams, there's your value play. And you're really trying to find these value guys in NBA where football, it's like, one game a week. I think the NFL should play a game every day of the week. I think they have the market for it. Because with fantasy, every game has become, even this Titans-Jaguars game Thursday night, people are going to watch because of fantasy and only because of fantasy,
I'm not watching that game. I don't like playing. I actually like playing only Sundays. I don't like playing the Thursday games because then you have to set your lineup. On FanDuel, you have to set it for Thursday and Sunday, so you can't really change it. So
I think the play is to play those Thursday contests and just don't play anybody from the Thursday game.
Yeah, I guess. Well, then you have to not play injury risk guys as well, or guys that are probable or questionable, or guys that might sit because on FanDuel you can't take those guys out of your lineup. Whereas on DraftKings you can still sub them out.
Yeah, I only play DraftKings because of that reason.
Oh, I just like FanDuel. I like FanDuel. I don't know why I like FanDuel. I just really, and they're gonna shout to FanDuel. They're gonna give me some tickets for free for the Bulls game next month. They gave me the little VIP.
Oh yeah.
He's a poker fan. Shout to him. Yeah, man. They got me. I got my own. I must be gambling a lot if they get me my own fucking host on the site. So
look at you, man. This podcast is opening doors. I remember when you were just a mauled out fucking kid on Hastings couch, man. Now you're this podcast superstar. Let's talk about you a little bit. I feel like you're always interviewing other people.
Wait a second. That's true. So I really was.
I was
Literally drugged. I was like coming down from a drug bender at Ultra Music Festival in Miami on Stinger's couch when I first met you. Right, that's true. I was fucked up then, dude.
I was like, who the fuck is this kid? I came back and you guys were just like, I don't think you moved for like 4 days. You just played like NBA 2K.
Yeah, that's when I got hooked into. That's why I started playing. You know, it's funny because I started playing NBA 2K because Stinger always wanted to bet on it. So I was like, all right, let's play some NBA 2K. And then I got so obsessed with the game and I was like, fuck this. I'm going to stop playing NBA 2K. I'm going to start playing real basketball. So that's how I got started playing real basketball, because of my NBA 2K obsession.
That's how you started?
Yeah, I was too addicted to
NBA
NBA
2K. Remember the old court on Fort Lauderdale Beach?
I didn't play there. I was addicted to NBA 2K for a year and a half. And then one day I was like, all right, I do all these cool moves in NBA 2K that always worked out. I'm like, I went to the gym. I was like, I want to see if these moves work. Turns out you need a little bit of cardio, but the moves work. They step back that you could abuse.
I remember you messaging me. You messaged me out of the blue on Facebook. You're like, hey, man, how do I get good at basketball?
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I didn't know what it was like. Can I watch videos? You have like a book I can read or something like that? Yeah, I want to know how to get good at basketball.
Maybe Bill Simmons. Have you read that?
I haven't read it, no.
Yeah, I consider myself a little bit of a historian because I read that book and I watched a lot of these old games, like Jerry West or Larry Bird, these guys. So yeah, I think confidently you can say the NBA is the best it's ever been. There's just so much talent. Even like some of these bad teams are interesting, like the Lakers, Randall and Russell, Clarkson. They got a nice little nucleus. Still got Kobe hanging on.
Kobe, come on, Kobe. Roy Hibbert, your boy, Roy Hibbert.
Your boy Hibbert. You love Hibbert. I don't know.
I don't like Roy Hibbert, man. Guys, we are streaming this on Twitch and YouTube. If you have any comments, questions.
Is anybody listening?
We got 55 people watching on YouTube. Shout out to them on YouTube, man. I don't know who's tuning in for some people are hardcores, man. And we probably got a lot of your fans too, kid. I'm sure you got a lot of fans on the Twitter sphere.
Oh yeah.
And we got 193 on Twitch right now, so we got some people watching live. So
it's nice to know that there's people out there, because I feel like we do this radio show. I don't know if anyone listens.
Do you have any call-ins on your radio show or anything like that?
Well, we have like a guest every week. So Wiggins was doing it for like a month, but then we have a bad time slot where Wednesdays at 6, which is like the worst time for DFS basketball. Like you're doing lineups and shit. Like
well, it starts already, yeah.
Like Wednesday,
it starts like an hour or 5 or 6 or 7. Yeah,
that last hour you're doing you're just doing as many lineups as you can. Wednesday night's like the Sunday for football, for basketball. Wednesday night basketball is the biggest night. So, he comes on, and it's funny because we're on like small time West Virginia radio, and here you have Andrew Wiggins, who's like one of the best DFS players in the world, giving his picks away for free, and pretty sure nobody's even listening.
That's kind of funny. Someone Caponero says, "Poppy, is that your brother?" No, this is not my brother. No. Oh. The mall man's not my brother.
I think we told some ladies in Vegas we were brothers.
We definitely told people in Vegas we were brothers. First, okay, so me and mall man went out one night after Summer League. So we were at the Summer League. We sat courtside, and we were in the taxi home, and I was in like a poker zone. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go play some poker. He's like, why don't we go out tonight? I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go play poker tonight because I was trying to get away from going out.
You were gonna play poker tonight?
Yeah, I was gonna play poker that night.
You had never been to the Carnival Court, right?
I've never been to the Carnival Court.
Oh man,
I've walked by the Carnival Court. For those of the Carnival Court, it's in Vegas. It's in between. What's it in between? It's in between the Cromwell, I believe.
And, the Link or whatever the fuck that place is.
Yeah, it's this like it's not the GTO place to go to in Vegas, guys, because like the people that go there, not like the hottest girls, not the best, coolest people, but it was an interesting place.
It's a great place to party because you're outside. And there's a lot of shit you can, access real quickly, like that the new places at the Linker Suite,
Yeah, that's true.
And and like the people that are there are probably like tourists just having a good time, So it's a pretty good place to meet women, I'd say.
Did we meet any women that night? I don't remember.
Yeah, we met some women, but we were probably too far gone to really do anything about it.
What happened? What happened after we leave the Carnival Court that night? We met Jake.
We ended up at Hastings Suite at Aria. And he was sleeping, remember? It was like me, you, and his girl.
Yeah.
And I think I went downstairs and lost a bunch of money playing open face to like Mercier's girlfriend hustled me out of like a G that night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we were in no state to be gambling.
Wow, I mean, man.
Dude, I got in an open face game with 3 chicks and lost like $1,000. It was I forget the one girl.
Sam Abernathy, Natasha Barbaro.
Yeah, the girl that was on the rail at the main event. Her and Mercier's girl and this other chick.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was just playing in the game just to talk to the girl because she was cute.
Of course you were. That's how they got you in the game.
Oh, they suckered me in, dude. I was a fish.
They do that pretty well.
She like texted me next day. She's like, "You want to play again? You want to play some open?" I was like, "Yeah, all right."
Yeah, the women, open face Chinese women in poker they're sort of hustlers, man.
That's a great hustle because you're sitting there, you're fucked up, you're walking through the area, and like it's an in to talk to cute girls, and it's also expensive, and
Well, they also do the thing where you can play them on the phone or play them online, and that's sort of like your way to keep in touch with them and communicate them and be friends with them, and they're debatably attractive. So you're like, oh, sure, whatever, I'll gamble with you, that's fine. And you lose some money to them, and
yeah, it's a great hustle.
You pay the piper.
That's just capitalism at its finest.
All right, I don't remember much about the story, so let's not talk about that story anymore. Because
let's talk about when we met. Can we tell that story?
Tell a fucking story, fine. I want to hear your version of the story, guys. It's an interesting story. I want to hear your version of the story.
I think there was I had a bad read on you. I'll say that much.
Tell a fucking story, kid.
All right, so we're in Lauderdale.
Okay.
This was typical Hastings. He would just like leave for like a month, right? He had that sick condo in Lauderdale.
Yeah, he had the very. Like it's right on the beach in Fort Lauderdale. Like this.
I believe the GTO is the
yeah. Dare I say GTO 2-bedroom, nice
right
2
there
balconies.
On Boulevard, like where the tourists would go. Like Spring Breakers would be there. There's all those bars there.
It's spring break, pretty much every single day. It was spring break basically there.
It's spring. It was yeah, like St. Patrick's.
I might have been actually spring break when we were there.
It was spring break for the Spring Breakers.
Okay, so go ahead. Tell me.
So I had this girl in town.
Well, this is a basketball. Go ahead. Fine.
I gotta put you on blast here because I never got
the story, kid. It's fine. I don't mind. It's fine. I'm ready to talk about the story.
All right, so I got this girl in town, and I have to set up the story. So we go out. It's St. Patrick's Day, so I pick Hastings up at the airport at like noon, and we start drinking St. Patrick's Day, and Hastings and this chick just disappear. I don't know where the fuck they went. So me and this girl, we stayed out. I think it might have been like March Madness, so we're just out drinking, watching the game. So we get back. It's probably like 7 or 8 o'clock at night. We're eating pizza. And I'll never forget this. Remember his bedroom, like it's shot out over the ocean?
Yeah, it's got the balcony over there. Yeah.
It was like a parallel apartment, but then his bedroom would
it's at the window. You can see through the window in the living room.
Yeah. It was a see-through window, and he left his TV on. So you could see like flashing light in his room. And I go to take a piss, and the girl I'm with spits out her pizza, and she's just like, oh my fucking God. I'm like, what? She's like shrieking. Hastings is like naked, and he's got like a half chub, and he's like walking into his window. Like sleepwalking into his window with a half chub, and like you could see the silhouette of like his dick, like in this fucking room. It was awesome, and it was incredible. So, anyways, the next day you show up. I never met you. I don't even know if I'd heard of you. Like Brian had mentioned you a couple times. I never met you, and you were like in post mall, post EDC sort of stage, which I can attest. We've all been there. And it's like the worst hangover in the world.
It was 3 hard days. Yeah, it was three days. I just got back from Australia.
We got you off the couch one day. So the three of us, me, you, and this girl, we go and we grab lunch on the beach, right? And we're talking and like we're hitting it off, whatever. It's harmless. And anyway, so like whatever. She ends up leaving town like that night or something. So then like, how long do you think it was? Like a couple weeks later?
Nah, maybe a little less, maybe a little more.
So I'm like looking for a reason to like end it with this chick. We weren't like dating, but we were semi-serious. And she's a nice girl. It wasn't gonna work out, right? So I'm looking for a reason to break up with her. And then she sends me this message. She's like, your friend Joe just added me on Facebook, and he's asking me all these questions and shit.
I don't remember these questions. First of all, I don't remember the questions. I don't remember this. Go ahead.
Oh, you're a very forward person, I mean, it's done wonders for you, And so anyways, I'm like, fuck this kid Ingram. Like, who the fuck is this kid? Why is he messaging my girl? Right? Not my girl, whatever she was. I was like, you're overstepping your boundaries though. So I text you. I'm like, you motherfucker, I'm gonna kick your ass and all this shit. I was blacked out. I was at a Black Keys concert. I was blacked out drunk. And she sent me this shit. And then I ended up like breaking up with that night anyways. Like that was the reason I needed to end it. I finally, like, I don't know, in my mind justified it that way. But
I called you up at the concert, and I was like, what's happening? I was like, what's going on? I think back at the time, I don't think it was even like in a flirtatious way. I don't remember what we were saying.
No,
but
I think it was lost in translation. I think I had a bad read on you because I don't know what your intentions were, but I don't think you were.
I think it was something. I guess I think it was something pertaining. Obviously, like thinking back on it though, like I didn't really know you at the time, so I guess for me it didn't.
Your sister's autistic, is that correct?
What?
Your sister's autistic?
Yeah, correct.
She's like an autistic. She teaches at an autistic school, so I think you guys were talking about that or something.
Yeah, that's like the main thing we were talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, when you were curious, asking her questions and stuff. So I think that's how your bond was.
Yeah. Never talked to her again after that night, though. After you got
Neither did I.
we got an argument. I'm like, man, I'm not trying to talk to this this great. But I think a lesson can be taken away from that situation is that even if like when you like meet like a woman through even a guy you're not friends with, but like a friend of a friend or whatever like that, probably not GTO to engage in any sort of like adding on Facebook conversation, stuff like that. I don't think anything good come from that though. Although, have you done that before?
Probably not. Probably not a good idea just to DM her out of the blue.
Oh, I feel like a kid like you might have engaged in some behavior like that before in your life.
I'm guilty, man, for sure. But you know, I'm trying to learn, trying to get better.
I'm trying to learn too. Yeah. I remember that time. You don't talk to that girl anymore. She had the black kid, right? That's saying too much. Does that say I say too much?
My boy's sitting here. My boy, we're gonna shout out to Koval. He's on the couch. He's getting a kick out of the story.
Does he know the story?
Say what's up, buddy. What's up, man?
What's up, man?
He's filling out some DFS teams.
Yeah, I don't think that was GTO, but you know, fucking man, women sometimes, guys, they do some crazy things.
It happens, man. What the fuck?
It happens. Any girls playing basketball ever? Have you ever gotten any women? I think about that. Like I play poker, it's all men. I play basketball, it's all men.
When I was an undergrad, you know, there were some girls that would play with us, but it's usually which makes it great. It's like a male bonding thing, you know. It's like competition, adrenaline. Basketball's the best, you know. Like 5-on-5 basketball. It's like everyone has their role, you know, and when it works out, it's one of the best things, you know, competition wise.
You don't play much. Do you play much ones or twos?
Yeah, we play ones and twos.
Yeah, because at my gym, it's like 4 half courts basically. They only have full courts 2 nights of the week, so it's like a bunch of chaos, a bunch of terrible players. They're like undercutting you. You're
Yeah, it's really hard. One thing I learned when I was traveling a lot for poker was like it's hard to find a good pickup game because you go to these like 24-hour fitnesses in Vegas.
Courts
and there's like lawlessness, man. There's like 30 people. They're all playing. Like they're like little kids are playing on the side rims, you know, and you're trying to play full court.
Yeah, I hated the 24-hour fitness. The courts there in Vegas were terrible. Like I said, the quality of the games. There's like a full court. There's 2 courts on each hoops on each side. People are shooting while you're playing. There's not much of a sideline. It's just
it's really hard to find a good game. We went there one night. It was me and Kyle, Julius, and I think Jay Kuhn, maybe just the 3 of us. We went in one of these like 24-hour fitnesses in Vegas, and it's like all these black dudes, you know, and they're tough. They take it serious, and we go in there, and Kyle just like. There should be like a plaque hanging up for like what he did. He went in there and just took over this gym, and these dudes are frustrated, like this motherfucking white kid, you know. And it was unbelievable. It was quite a sight.
I can't believe Kyle's that good.
He had a scholarship, I think, to play at Florida, but I think he fucked his grades up or something.
How was Jay Kuhn as a basketball player?
He's tough. You know, he's tough.
He's got the muscle. He's got the energy. He's got the hustle.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, there's definitely a role for you in basketball as long as you know, like. As long as you don't like shoot too much, you can play D, you can rebound, you can set screens, you can pass, you know, all those things are valuable. You don't have to be, you know, we can't all be Kyle Julius, you know, you have to know what your role is. Like I just shoot threes.
You're a shooter, huh?
Shooter kid.
Who's your NBA doppelganger? Is it somebody like, who could it be? Kyle Korver? You rolling around the Steph Curry?
Reggie Miller, when he used to play, was my favorite growing up. You know, Reggie he was, but the difference was like Miller and like Ray Allen and these guys, they were catch and shooters. You know, they had to come off screens. What Curry can do off the bounce, we've never seen anything like it before. You know, they throw him the ball with 5 seconds on the shot clock, and he can create his own 3, and then he just hits these ridiculous threes all the time. What he's done right now. He's in the best zone ever. You know.
Yeah, I think it's going to breed a lot of wannabe Steph Currys coming up here with kids in the future and high schoolers and pickup games, especially. I think we're going to see a lot of the Steph Curry effect happening where the guys they're basically going to be trying to shoot up the bounce way more often, trying to be more effective at that. And there's going to be some people that probably succeed at it and break through. And there's going to be a lot of people who
it's so fucking hard what he does. He makes it look so easy, but it's so difficult. Like you think about when you go to the gym, just shooting like a 10-foot open shot, how many times you'll miss that. And what he can do off the bounce, like I said, he's also like the point guard. So he's running the team. And he just happens to be the greatest shooter of all time. You know, I think he could die tomorrow and still be the greatest shooter of all time.
Steph Curry?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he's awesome.
Good. I can see that. He certainly is. I think what was the debate going on? Is he the best player in the NBA right now? Is he the best player in the world? And some people said LeBron at his peak has him beat, but LeBron can't perform at his peak that often. So therefore, Steph Curry is the best on a day-to-day basis.
LeBron's still probably the better overall player, and he's still in his prime. But I mean, Curry's giving him when Curry's playing like this. You know, he has that next level he can go to where he's probably like I said, the most entertaining guy to watch, and he's playing better than LeBron right now. But I think in general, because Curry will go into some shooting slumps, and what LeBron can do is pretty much slump proof. He's just so strong getting to the rim and stuff.
Yeah, I feel like the Curry's. You think he's underrated at getting to the hoop? I feel like he gets to the hoop so often, and he's so creative at finishing with his spinny, like the way he finishes right and left-handed and can put spin on the ball. He's overhand, underhand layups. He's
so creative at the rim too. He can do so many things, and I think just the way he's running the offense too. So he's like running point guard. It's like the most important position. So he's doing that. He's distributing the ball too. And then it's like, hey, when we need you with 5 seconds to go on the shot clock, go do something ridiculous. And more often than not, he does. And people saying that they were lucky last year is just bullshit because like the 3-point shot's the way of the future, And like they do shooting threes, and they get these guys like Barnes and Draymond that can guard everybody, So like they can guard 1 through 5. Same with Klay Thompson. Curry's probably the weakest defensive guy, but they can hide him. And what they do, they all shoot threes. Like they average margin of victory last year, 10 points a game, won like 66 games in what was the best conference of all time. And people try to say that's luck,
I think they were saying they're lucky in pertaining to injuries. They didn't get hurt. They didn't have any major injuries. I think Bogut was the only one that really got dinged up. So they didn't get any major injuries to Curry, Thompson, Barnes, or Green.
Yeah, but
Barnes probably wouldn't have mattered that much.
Sustain an injury to even one of those guys. Maybe not Draymond or Curry, but if Klay went down, I think they could still, fill in pretty, maybe get 90% of what Klay gives you.
Yeah, I can never tell if Brennan says Curry's finger roll scoops are a beautiful thing to watch. I agree. I replicate. I have a hoop in my living room when I go on my basketball session.
Can we see a Curry move?
I replicate the Curry. I can replicate the scoop, the scoop finger roll, man. It's so beautiful, man.
It is art, It's like some people go to museums, we just flip on TNT and watch the man.
You guys talk about Porzingis.
We have a request to talk about Porzingis. Have you watched
Porzingis, the guy, the young New York Knicks draftee? Yeah, I haven't watched too many Knicks games, even though Melo's one of my favorite guys to watch. So I see he's putting up stats. I see he's producing some fantasy points on the DFS sites, but I don't know too much about his game. I've seen the highlight dunks and stuff.
He was good at summer league, but we didn't catch him, did we? We didn't get to see him.
I don't think we saw Porzingis play.
Little spin dunk.
Yeah, his tip dunks and shit, and he can shoot. I think when they incorporate him more in the offense, I watched one of their games and he was just like he was a zero on offense. But once they started getting him the ball some more,
has he been playing with the is he playing with the starters right now or the backups?
Yeah, he plays with the starters. He doesn't play huge minutes, which is why we've been fading him on DFS for the most part. But I think he's like a 14-10 guy last couple of weeks.
Yeah, the Knicks are such a weird fucking team. They got Grant and Galloway as like they're two. Well, I guess Affalo's back, so Affalo is going to be the starting shooting guard. But they have like Calderon starting at point guard, and they had Vujicic playing a lot of minutes. It's just like they're getting better, They're getting better. They got that Lance Thomas guy. I don't know if you watch him.
I think people disrespect Melo. Like Melo's still like a top 10 player, He's like one of the best pure scorers of all time. Like he's going to go down. I don't know what the points record is, but the guy's a beast. He's give him the ball and clear out. He's one of the best one-on-one offensive players in the game. I think he gets disrespected because he doesn't win, but I don't know how much of that's his fault.
Yeah, I guess a lot of people compare his supporting cast sometimes to LeBron's bad supporting cast in the past, and they sort of say, "Oh, LeBron would have won with the team." But I guess Melo's he's got a different style in terms of the way he gets his teammates involved. He doesn't get his teammates much involved. He gets the ball in the post and he fucking goes to work. He goes plays volleyball.
I don't know if he plays any defense. That might be a problem.
That's going to be an issue too. Yeah, LeBron's a much better defender overall than Carmelo is too. So I love Carmelo, man. He did a little documentary series this offseason where he's like showing what he does. He wants to be a businessman off the court. He wants to establish himself as a brand. He went to Puerto Rico a little bit. And he put a couple of videos out there. He's got his own like investing like little company or something like that. He's doing a lot of cool stuff outside. He's one of my favorite guys to follow outside in terms of putting up like extra content outside of NBA. Do you watch that at all?
No, I know he took some shit for that, for saying he wanted to be a monk.
Oh yeah, he did. He took a lot of shit for that. Yeah.
Joke.
Yeah, just like D Rose. We'll talk about the Bulls since they're my favorite team. D Rose got hurt again. He took some shit for saying he wants to worry about his next contract. He took some shit for saying he wants to. What did he say? Wants to play with his kids when he gets older. He's been hurt.
And he raped a chick too.
Allegedly. Allegedly. Him and the crew, they took a girl that, they shared her, whatever, allegedly. We don't know if this is true or not, but, and then she filed a lawsuit.
I read a story on him one time. He's kind of a different guy, right? He's like real quiet. He's got a real small circle.
Yeah, he's got his same crew he grew up with, but I think that story, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's like a true story that happened, but they're just saying she wasn't raped. It was like a willing act on her part. So
Yeah, I mean, you see a lot of that with athletes where these girls are looking for a payday, and more often than not, they're going to get it just to go away, shut them up.
Yeah. What do you think about the Bulls? Do you watch the Bulls at all?
I watched them a couple times. Mirotic has been struggling, right?
Okay, so he started the season. Him and Gasol started the season as a 4 and 5. If you actually watch Mirotic play, like he ran super hot with his terrible 3-point shots he kept taking for the first fucking part of the season. For the first games, he kept doing well at DFS. He kept doing well. He kept making these threes, is like bailout 3-pointers basically. And I was like, he doesn't seem that good. Like he's really slow getting to the hole. He could get to the hole, but he definitely uses offhand more than anyone else I've seen in the NBA.
Are they still starting him over Noah?
I'm not sure what the starting lineup's looking like right now because like they're sort of going through they're back and forth. They got Gibson, they got Noah. Portis played pretty well in preseason. And
Dougie McBuckets, right? McBuckets is getting some run.
Yeah, well, that's because I think McDermott's still hurt. So, or I'm sorry, Dunleavy's still hurt. So I think when Dunleavy comes back, he's going to be the 3, and then probably he'll split minutes with Snell, and I guess maybe Snell and McDermott will split minutes at 2 and 3.
I like their coach a lot, Hoiberg, right? The mayor?
Yeah, he's the mayor. He shares your nickname. You're kind of known as the mayor sometimes, right?
I am the mayor of the WSOP. But Hoiberg coached in the Big 12 against West Virginia, so we watched them a lot. And they were one of the few teams that would run like a pro-style offense in college, because college with the 35-second shot clock, I mean, you can get some teams that just take the air out of the ball, and it's miserable. You can't even watch them. But
it's unbearable to watch. Haralabob seems to think Hoiberg is a terrible Haralabob Vulgaris, obviously.
Hardo-Bob, right? Hardo-Bob.
Yes, to the podcast, friend of the podcast, Haralabob. Yeah, he seems to think Hoiberg sucks as a coach.
I mean, it's probably a little too early to either way definitively. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people didn't like. Well, what was the guy's name there last year?
Tom Thibodeau.
Thibodeau, Tibbs running these guys into the ground, so I don't know. I like the coaching change. I think they needed it. I think the Bulls have the ability to win the East.
They can't ever get past LeBron. It's just fucking LeBron. LeBron stops them every year for the past bunch of years. He just
even when Heroes that last year, all those games were coin flips at the end. I remember I was gambling. I was losing every fucking game like on a buzzer beater. But they could beat Cleveland if they ran hot for sure.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see if D-Rose can stay healthy. Obviously, a huge if. And he's sort of he was hurt. He wasn't playing his best to start the season. And
yeah, I mean, he's such a question mark. But Butler's really grown into a top, 15 talent in the league. Like, especially shooting guard. Shooting guard's such a hard position. You think like when you're filling out your DraftKings teams, shooting guard's always like.
Courtney Lee, Kent Bazemore. What are we talking right now? What do we got?
A lot of fucking JCLs that burn you. I mean, you usually just pay up for Harden or Bledsoe or somebody or Butler. I mean, Butler's great, and at a position of need, shooting guard's so tough. I think that's a good DraftKings strategy to never play more than one shooting guard. They don't pick up those counting stats, those rebounds and assists.
Oh yeah, I'm so used to it because at FanDuel's you got to play two shooting guards at all points in time. So I'm always going value there. Even with Harden, it's sort of like, I guess Stosis has been on a little bit of a heater lately. He's been putting up some points.
Yeah, and like Fournier was killing it early in the season, and they switched him to small forward.
Fournier is still a shooting guard on DraftKings or on FanDuel.
Oh, okay. He's a 3 on DraftKings. His price is going up.
DeRozan. Yeah, I don't know about DeRozan. I'm not going to be able to play DeRozan. Yeah,
it's tough with Lowry there because they're both pretty ball dominant guards.
Yeah. Cheddar Bob says, I'll never play Mirotic again, and DFS guy's a bum. Yeah, he was constantly projected for like a good week or two there, much higher than he ever got any game. And I played him for the first.
Bulls fans, you're bitching last year that he doesn't get any playing time, and now that he's starting.
Yeah, well, the Bulls are doing well, but it's.
Yeah, I think he's a pretty good shooter. I think shooting can go into slumps, like anything else. I think he's going to be fine. I like Mirotic. Plus, he stretches the floor. You play Noah with Gasol and Gibson. It's just too cluttered in the paint. You have that stretch four. That's huge, for your spacing.
Yeah, I think the debate is that a lot of Bulls fans have is with Gasol and Mirotic, their defense just struggles so much, and especially once the game slows down in the playoffs and later, it's just. You're playing more half court. These guys got to play D. And
or trade him.
What?
Are they going to trade Noah or hold on to him? He's been like, what the fuck's going on with him?
I don't see them trading Noah. He's been like a staple of. He's like the heart and soul sort of thing of the Bulls. Basically.
I drafted him in a season-long league and already had to drop him because
that was a real fucking good draft kid. A real nice pick.
He was like $1. I was like, Noah, what the fuck?
Oh, Joseph Ward. Oh, can you give McNeil tips on how to style his hair? What's wrong with your hair, puppy?
He just likes fucking with us. He's got your haircut now. He stole his haircut from you.
Did he? I hope so. It's a good haircut. It's simple. You do one on the side up to the top. You can either fade it or go hard and one on the back and then just fucking put
I'm gonna get that done next time. I'll tweet you a picture or something. Next time I get a haircut.
You should. It's pretty easy. It's like a really simple haircut to look good. Get it looks good.
I used to rock the mohawk, and that was actually a good look. I like that a lot. It was a conversation starter.
A faux hawk or a mohawk?
That was a faux hawk, but it was pimp.
How big? How high did it go? Like George Dancer style at WSC?
I would just leave like this here and then just shave everything else.
Yeah. That's a conversation starter. It's a pretty...
Dude, conversation starter. You're somewhere in Vegas, you're in, man.
I don't feel like a kid like you needs much to have a conversation about, though. You start a conversation pretty easily with people.
I like to talk, it's something I realized having this radio show is how much I just enjoy hearing myself talk, We all have hot takes. We just want to, we just got to get them off our chest.
Give me a couple hot takes then, kid. It could be pertaining to NBA, it could be pertaining to poker, it could be pertaining to a person, whatever.
I don't know. We should talk about Hastings a little bit. I feel like we'd be remiss if we didn't bring up his situation.
Let's talk about Brian. Let's go ahead. We'll talk about Hastings.
Well, I mean, it was funny because we were together this summer, we got to watch it unfold sort of at a unique perspective.
A very unique perspective on the on things.
Look, man, it was just people that don't know Hastings personally, it's just such bullshit. He's the nicest fucking kid in the world. He's I know a lot of fucking shady gamblers. He's the most stand-up gambler. He won't I'll be what's that site, Run It Once, the poker training site?
Run It Once, yeah.
I'll be like, hey, Brian, can I use your Run It Once? You don't want to watch a video or something? He'd be like, no, dude, I know Phil, he's my friend. I don't want to fuck him out of equity or something. The kid is
sounds like him. That sounds like Ryan, yeah.
Right down the line, the fucking nicest kid. He's not even he doesn't belong in the poker world. He's too fucking nice. And then to see him get, just chastised in this fucking thread that took off on, and I understand what he did and I understand the consequences, but I don't know. I think it towed the line more of a misdemeanor than a felony. And to see the backlash, because it was just so topical, it was it's kind of like this DFS shit when it's going down. It's all over SportsCenter shit because everyone has a fucking opinion on it. But really what Hastings did, I mean, the kid's a fucking stand-up guy, and to see him just get, but then to watch him win the bracelets too and win all these side bets at the same time, it was a very interesting summer.
Yeah, it was it was intense, man. It was intense. I think a lot of the backlash he got. I mean, obviously people weren't really mad at what he did. It's sort of a cumulative thing from the Isildur stuff.
He definitely threw some fuel on the fire.
Well, he threw a lot of fuel on the fire. That was the big fucking thing. He said something about somebody doing something out of line on Twitter, and then that's when
I'll say this: knowing Brian personally, and I've known him for 10 years. He was one of my oldest poker friends, and we're good friends. The way he comes across sometimes on the internet, I'm that's not the Brian I know. I don't know that guy. I agree. I think he's a very passionate guy. He's one of the most passionate people I've ever met. When he wants to do something, he does it full bore, which has obviously helped him a lot in life. But at the same time, his passion carries over, on Twitter and stuff. And you see him go on these rants, and you're just kind of But I mean, I understand it's who he is.
Yeah, I thought it was, it's sort of what predicted would happen.
If he wasn't winning bracelets this summer, it would have been a non-story. I mean, it would have been a story, but it wouldn't have been as big as it was.
Yeah, I think I don't know if he won much online when he played, but yeah, if he didn't have the success at the series this summer, then
I don't even think he was. I think he was down online a good chunk, and then maybe got even, or maybe made a nice run there. But yeah, I mean, if he was losing money online, it wouldn't have been a story.
Yeah, it's like I said, I think it's a cumulative effect where he's got this, real dislike from a lot of the community for the Isildur stuff, and a lot of these guys are huge Isildur fans still, and they. He's an easy target to not like, basically, for a lot of these people. Because
no, he's a heel, man. He's like in wrestling. There's always the guy that's sent to piss people off, to stir up the crowd. He's the heel, which is you wouldn't think of him that way, but everyone's got an opinion on him. He's a polarizing guy. He's a big name in poker, and he's had these two quote unquote scandals. But I mean, like I said, the guy is the fucking nicest kid I've ever met. To watch him. To watch these people just take shots at him on the internet, which I mean, he deserved it for sure, but I don't know, it was a catch-22 for sure.
Yeah, it wasn't very, very fun to read. So it seemed like he handled it. I guess in person, it seemed like he was doing okay. Obviously, he's got his girlfriend, and I think that she helped him a lot feel better about things.
Does he have a girlfriend? I haven't noticed.
What do you mean? Wait, are you the kind of guy? So, are you the kind of guy when you have a girlfriend? Are you gonna put her all over social media, or do you?
Oh, every fucking minute, bro. Snapchat, Facebook, everything.
They're everywhere. I know. Even on Snapchat, they post a lot of stuff together.
They're in love, man. I think it's safe to say that they each found the right person.
Man, I can't do that. I don't know. I'm trying to like keep shit low key. It's like not.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I try to lay off the social media. I think people just creep on social media so much that they form such solid opinions of you based off what they know on the internet. Where I feel like we're in a world where people don't even like care to meet you in real life. They just want to form an internet opinion of you,
But wait, do you think that internet opinion really, like, what does it matter necessarily? If you're never going to meet these guys, never going to see these people, like, what is it? What is it?
No, I mean, I understand why they do it. I just think that's like it's so important. Like these people, like what you post on social media, they form these opinions. It's wild. Like I'll hear stories about me from people back home. Like what the fuck? I don't even remember doing that. Oh, it was on your Facebook or something. It's like you see a lot of that. I think a lot of people.
No, yeah, I think I mean when I went through my
like poker players, we don't see each other often. Maybe you'll see each other once a year at the World Series. So like whatever you're posting on social media, they feel like me and you haven't probably talked. We haven't talked. We talked the other day, but we haven't talked in a couple of months. Since Vegas. So really, I'm looking at your podcast or what I see on social media. And that's how I'm like following your life,
Yeah. I think I've gone a lot away. I used to be much more open with posting everything I was doing on social media, especially raging. When I was raging, I was like fucking. I was revisiting some old.
I can't believe you developed into this podcast star because you were this animal. I was like, who the fuck is this kid?
What do you mean? Go ahead. Tell more about what.
Well, I met you was like right after you had just like gone to EDC Miami for a week or whatever, and you were just like, you were just a mess. Your body was just. It needs like a week just to recover, just to eat like a solid meal. And now you're this podcast superstar, man. You're Jay Ingram. What do they call you? Chicago Joe?
Chicago Joey. It's a 2+2 name, kid.
Shout out to Chicago Joey.
Look what happens when you stop rolling for when you stop doing a lot of Molly. Maybe you can put your mind to something. I guess you start doing it. So
who knows?
I'm not gonna be able to, Mallman ain't gonna be able to do it. I know. What do you got? Okay, NBA DFS strategy. Do you have an NBA DFS strategy you like to use? Do you even think that
it's called talk to Andrew Wiggins every day and get his picks.
So you get his picks and then you play?
Yeah, so we talk pretty much daily.
Andrew Wiggins, guys, for those who don't know,
the white Andrew Wiggins.
What do you say?
The white Andrew Wiggins.
The white Andrew Wiggins, who was former poker player, was co-founder of Card Runners with Taylor KB and also of Draft Day, the daily fantasy sports site that they sold a couple years back. That's Andrew Wiggins.
He's now like a DraftKings professional. I think he's considered like one of the best basketball players, DFS basketball players. One of my best friends, we talk almost every day. He gives me his picks. I give him a free roll if I ever win, which I usually don't. We were in Vegas. Have you seen our commercial, the DraftKings, when we got screwed out of $1 million?
Oh, you were in that commercial, right?
Yeah, we were out. We were at the Aria. They set up, they had this big. It was like a Sunday afternoon. It was.
So you've been on TV like 60,000 times.
I know, dude. These people I'm like a fake celebrity. People bust my balls and say that because like I'll be on like the background of something, but we're on that. So they're filming this live. I didn't even, unbeknownst to us, the cameras were even there, but it was like a one-day thing. It was like $50K was the seat to get out there, and he owed me some money from the Super Bowl or something, so he gave me a piece of his team, like a small piece, and he should have won the $1 million. He got second for $250,000. They came back the next day and said, because they gave Westbrook a triple-double that he never got. They just gave him like a phantom rebound, and that's like probably a 5-point bonus on DraftKings.
Wow. So he didn't get second place then?
No, he got second. He should have got first, but because of that stat correction.
Wait a second. So you thought he got first?
No, we knew he got second in real time. Then the next day they come out and they're like, oh yeah, we fucked up. You should have got first. Like $750,000 difference.
Wait, they couldn't fix it?
No, it's the letter of the law. They understood this because they own Draft Day. It's where, they want to pay you out that day because they want you to turn around and start doing lineups, for tomorrow. So there's no you can't go back.
Wait a sec. So he should have got first place and he didn't get it?
He should. There was like a 6 sweat even with the Westbrook triple-double, he still was like leading. It was funny because it's like, you play 8 guys on DraftKings and the game started at noon and then 3. There was like 2 waves of games. And we had 4 guys going at the noon games that were just all terrible. Like they all had like their worst game of the season. I'm like joking. I'm like, oh fuck, we're drinking. I'm all fucked up. I'm like, you should get something for last. You should get something for dead last. Like busting his balls. He's just like in a coma. He's like not even moving. And then the 3 o'clock game started and like Gallinari had like 11 threes, like a career game and shit. I think that's when we were celebrating in the commercials. Gallinari just went on this crazy heater. He had like 48. I don't know what he had. A shit ton of points. And so yeah, Wiggins all of a sudden vaults into first. It's cool how they do it. They set up all these TVs. Then they set up like the live scoring. Mm-hmm. So like it's like a DraftKings lobby or whatever. And so he's in first, and this dude needed like Jay Crowder got like a 3-point play, and that put him up by 1. So we thought in real time we got second. Next day, you know, they're like, oh yeah, should have got first.
I'd been pretty upset. I say it's a pretty sick. It's a big difference. $250K and 1 million.
Only $750,000, Joe. Come on, the story. Do we get the story forever now?
What kind of piece do you have of this kid?
Not a lot. Like I think it was like 3 or 5 or something.
What's 750K of that? You done the math before, right?
I don't want to think about it.
Thought about it. Might be different these days, huh?
I don't want to think about it. We got the picture of us with the check though, which is great. And then Wiggins like had a flight the next morning and he just left the check. So I was just walking around the strip with this huge check for like $250,000. You want to talk about a conversation starter?
What was that? What happened with that? Did you meet some friends?
I think I did meet a nice blonde girl that night.
Nice blonde girl that night. That's nice, man. That's nice. So NBA DFS. So your strategy is talk to Wiggins. You play tournaments. You play cash games. People out there interested. So they always get the questions like, you know, what should they play? What do you think?
Oh, I don't. What I do is I'll just mass fill out these $3 and $5 tournaments. So I'll get his picks, and then just as many as I can get in before the games start. You know, like sometimes I'll get up to like 70 or 80, but usually it's like in the 30 or 40 range because there is so much variance in these. But they also, you know, they pay out like what 20% or something. So you know, a decent shot you can cash, and then you know I've had a couple of like sweats at some real money and shit. So I mean, it's like I'm getting his picks. Why not just try to find the right combination, hit the lottery.
Think you're gonna go deep at all this year, kid? Think you're gonna win something here?
I mean, it's
bad at every day. What?
It's the most fun thing, right? It's the most fun way to make money.
Yeah, it is pretty fun. I don't know. PLO is fun to make money, but DFS NBA is.
PLO is a great game.
PLO is it? You play PLO, Mike?
I do. I got some lessons from a guy one time. You might have heard Mr. South gave me some PLO lessons once.
Oh, Cole South was his lessons. Bet as much as you can, raise as much as you can, and play the most aggressive style that you can possibly play.
Hand. I mean, play every hand, defend every hand, and just go with it.
CTS is a known winner using that strategy, so it must be a good strategy.
CTS is pretty good at the poker. He's pretty good.
He's pretty good. He's like
I don't think he's real, man. I don't think he's a real human. He's just too good at life. Even
when I see him in person, I don't know if he's a real human.
He gets up at like 7 a.m. and like works out every day, like with a trainer.
I know. He like went to Omnia and San Diego with us one night. Him and Larissa, his wife, and I couldn't believe Cole South was at the table. Like, Cole South, what are you doing here, Cole? Like, it doesn't seem like a very Cole South place, like a nightclub table with like there's like 20 fucking people around the table. I'm like, oh, what are you doing at the table right now, kid? You know, like rock climbing, but he seemed like a rock climber. He didn't seem like a table guy, but I'm pretty sure he probably woke up 7 a.m. next morning, hit some CrossFit, fucking did like 4 hours of working out, gotten shape, and he
put me in his wedding for some. I don't know why. Like he put me in his wedding party. It was great, and and like because you're looking at like I mean he's like these people are just like overachievers at life. You know, Cole's like I don't know how he plays poker. He's like a fucking like CEO, dude. He's like just crushes life. You know, and somehow I'm in his wedding party and. I'm just like, what the fuck am I doing here, man? You know, it was a good time. We were up in Napa. You should have been up there, man. It would have been fun to have you.
What did do you have your favorite Cole South story? We've had some really good Cole South stories told on here. This is more of his like DGen days back in the day.
I can honestly say that I'm not in a position to repeat my favorite Cole South stories.
Yeah, pretty sure these stories.
Maybe off the pod one day with Helson.
Yeah. How long am I going for right now? Like an hour? I was trying to keep this hour. I'm gonna go order my parents'
What time do we start?
I think we start like a little bit after 20 after 4, I believe.
You were so late.
Yeah, I know you were late coming to the podcast today, Poppy. Joel on we'll take some questions if anybody has any questions pertaining to anything on YouTube and on Twitch right now. If you guys have something. Yeah, I'm gonna end up a little bit, take some questions here. First, let's see. Joel says, this is great. Mondays with the mayor has to be a regular show. Mondays with the mayor.
Mondays with Mikey. We used to get fucked up in Vegas and say that should be our show.
Kind of, is that your show now? When do you guys do the radio
we
show?
do it Wednesdays at 6 o'clock. We do an hour. It's all just football. It's like fantasy, daily fantasy.
All football?
Yeah, I don't know. I think we do basketball.
Basketball, Poppy.
I think we need to transition to some basketball once football season dies down.
Do you even like watching NFL that much after watching NBA all the time?
I mean, yeah, like I do. I help. Like Hastings is in a couple $50,000 leagues that me and my brother help. We run the teams, so we got some good.
Wait a sec. Define $50,000 leagues.
Yeah, like 50 G's to buy.
50K buy-in.
Yeah.
Charlie Sheen's HIV positive.
Yeah, who's surprised about that? You see that Charlie Sheen HIV
Charlie
positive?
Sheen's got AIDS.
Who'd have thought that, huh?
I haven't read any news today, man.
Yeah, it came out like a week ago. Allegedly, he had AIDS. Now I think it's confirmed.
Charlie Sheen?
Your boy, Charlie Sheen, yeah.
The dude from Major League? What, Wild Thing? Oh, fuck, man.
Yeah.
That's sad day.
You get hit with the AIDS, you're done. GG.
Unless you're Magic Johnson, right?
That's true. You think Magic Johnson's out there like
fucking puss? No.
Yeah, you know?
That can't be good for the game. That can't be good for the sex life.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we should get someone that has AIDS on the podcast one time just to see what it's like. I'm just curious.
Crazy comment there, Joe.
What do you mean? Why not?
No, I mean, if you could. Do you know anyone with AIDS?
Not sure. Probably got to ask some people. I don't think people tell you that. If you had AIDS, would you tell people? It's a good question, right? Would you
I would tell people just to fucking talk about it. I mean, I don't give a fuck, but I mean, I feel like if you hook up with a chick and don't tell her you have AIDS, it should be like a felony, right?
I think it is a felony. I think it might be illegal, yeah.
Or like herpes or something. Like, come on, man.
I think it's illegal to do that, yeah. So with AIDS.
One of the few laws in this country that makes sense, Joseph.
Yeah. Kakaju says, do you think DFS is heading down the same road as poker?
No. For the one main reason being the people that are invested in DFS are some of the most wealthiest, prominent people in this country. You know, Jerry Jones and Robert Kraft, guys like that. I mean, these poker sites were all run out of like Costa Rica and these other countries. Mm-hmm. DFS is some powerful, heavy hitters that have a vested interest in DFS. State by state, they're going to rule on it. But I think in general, the country's I don't think it's going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, obviously I don't know shit. It's just my opinion.
No, I think I sort of agree with you. There's just too much money involved with too many rich people and powerful people that.
I mean, you think about these like politicians and shit. Who are the people backing their campaigns? It's often, these people like MLB and NBA or official sponsor,
Mm-hmm.
No.
A couple people on Twitch said HIV isn't AIDS. Like, no shit. If we're going to get fucking technical, fine. HIV isn't AIDS. It develops into fucking, right? I got it. I understand. We're going to be technical about it. My bad. I'm sorry. Jesus Christ, man. Escobar says, Joey, did you watch or hear about last night's John Oliver show trying to kill your DFS action? You hear about this? What did he say on there? Last night with John Oliver, the HBO show. Have you ever watched it?
Oh yeah, I watched it.
I guess they're trying to kill our DFS NBA action, apparently.
That's the thing. It's such a topical thing. It's like the Hastings thing. It's like everyone's got a fucking opinion on it. It's like water cooler talk.
Yeah.
And people want to say it's gambling, but you can go and the lottery's a $20 billion a year, fucking rake that the government takes. You can go play bingo or like slot machines are like the worst thing in the world,
Yeah, the lottery is pretty highly raked when you think about it.
Think about slot machines. Think about people just sit there all day and just pull this fucking.
Yeah. All right.
Smoking cigarettes with one hand and pulling a fucking slot machine, and like go ahead, that's legal. Go ahead, knock yourself out.
Let's we'll wrap this up, and I'm gonna go with my parents. We'll do it again soon because we'll talk more basketball, NBA in general.
Absolutely, buddy. Good luck to your Bulls.
To my Bulls. Who's your favorite team anyway? I don't even know. The Warriors. Yeah, okay, get the fuck out of here. Dude. You live in fucking.
No, dude, I went to game.
Impossible. It doesn't make sense. You live in Pittsburgh, kid. We
don't have an NBA team.
Okay, you're a Warriors fan. Fine.
Pittsburgh hates the fucking NBA, by the way. It's unbelievable. It's like you walk in, there'll be like a replay of a hockey game on before you can get an NBA game on. They fucking.
What else they said? They said something else. You said, right?
They did.
You told the
you're in a fun format because like you can talk about what the fuck you want. You still have you have a nice following, but
you told the silhouette and the dong in the fucking Norris story. You don't tell that. Did you tell? No. So you said something. Didn't you say like you walked by and like you saw having sex and something like that too, or something like that?
I think I don't know, man. He's got a sizable cock too.
What are you talking about, really? Is this true?
Oh yeah, we were one time. We used to live together every summer in Vegas, like 8 or 9 of us, like KB and Wiggins and Joe Ward and those guys. And one day we found these Magnum condoms just sitting on the coffee table. And we were like, "Who the fuck are these?" And so like Joe starts an investigation. We gotta find out who these are. And finally, we get to the source, Mr. Hastings himself.
Mr. Magnum, huh?
Magpipes, yeah.
Magpipes. The Magnum Man, Mr. Mags.
The bag man, yeah, dude.
The slanger over there, man.
I heard the story. He was at oh, this is such a great story. He was at a pool party, and you know how he is, like at these pool parties, he's like talks to everybody, and he's like serious, but at the same time he's sitting there. So he's sitting there with like his shirt off, and he's in his box, they're like his swim trunks or whatever. And this girl, this like poker news reporter, came up and was just talking to him, and was like bullshitting with him, and he's like dead serious having a conversation with her while he's got a full chub. So his cock's just sticking out of these like swimming trunks, and we're like in the cabana just losing it, like it was the greatest thing ever. And he's like having this dead serious conversation with this chick too while he's got this, and like she sees it obviously. I don't know if he knew he had it or didn't give a fuck or what.
Let's leave it on that, Poppy. Let's leave it on that. All right.
Good one to end on there, buddy.
You want to follow Mike on Twitter? It's you tweet a lot at Potodds3. You tweet.
Oh yeah.
You a big Twitter for the people out there?
Yeah, absolutely. Potodds3.
All right, at Potodds3. And we'll have Mike back on soon because we're going to talk more basketball and talk more.
All right, buddy. Enjoyed it. Good luck.
I'll see you soon, kid.
All right, kid.
Later.